Hello everybody and welcome back to the stream, or this time the video. So tonight we're gonna go through another different series, this time by Jonto Hill 2, and it's called How to Man Soldier. So for the person that wanted me to watch this one, if you want, you can comment me, obviously. But yeah, no, this is going to be another one that we're going to be watching a bunch of TF2 content like always, just to kind of see and get used to everything that goes around. But for tonight, let's go ahead. Oh yeah, for today, let's go ahead and watch it. I don't know what this one is about, but it looks like it's going to be more in-depth examinations of the soldier this time. Bro, they do these animations for fun, dude. I can't do this shit. I can't do shit for fun. I stream. At this point, I feel like I'm just fucking taking content. This shit's easy. If anybody wants to fucking wonder how it is, you just got to make sure that you actually talk whenever you do these things. But this is crazy. The amount of work that this fucking text do is fucking insanity, dude. I already watched the one video that told me how it is to use the fucking source filmmaker. Imagine the fucking bullshit they had to go through just to do this.
Soldier, the lead-poisoned fighter of the Badlands from the country that doesn't know what a kilometer is. In my opinion, the best class for new players. Unlike this guy, why is this guy's not working properly? What the fuck? Soldier's strength is his high versatility in combat, having both good single target and crowd control damage, alongside air mobility with rocket jumping. He's very well-rounded, and
I can see why there's a lot of people who main Soldier for that reason, especially with the ways that his weapons work. Like the video where we saw when they were talking about the Beggar's Bazooka, definitely kind of throws out like very versatile vibes around, on and around. It's pretty fucking crazy.
With that, the classes he counters are none of them. That might sound bad, but the flip side of that is that no class counters him either. Meaning you're just as likely to die to all of them, and it's your fault. This is what I meant when I said he was highly versatile.
So that's the fun part, actually. You would rather want to use a character that is countered by no one and absolutely doesn't do anyone. I think that is the best type of character. In my opinion, a character that is not able to be countered by anybody but counters nobody has to be the most well-balanced character, but the most overpowered character. Because if you don't have a perfect counter, then at that point it's skill-based gameplay at that point. It's your fault for your plays, and it makes sense. It's just like you want to do better. And the best part is no one's going to stop you from playing the game. Just like how you get stopped easily by spy, you get stopped as you play spy by like pyros or like other circumstances. Apparently, like if you do engineer, you can stop a fucking the other guy too. That also works as well. But you know what I mean? It's just like if you're not able to be countered and you counter nobody, I think you're in the most optimal position as a character.
There's no specific class that is really good at killing him. As a new player, this will give you a fair amount of interaction with all the other classes, and you'll learn how they all work, and may even decide to play them after dying to them a couple times. While skills like rocket jumping may take a long time to master, Soldier's base weapons are easy to understand on a fundamental level, making them easy to pick up. It's not like Soldier is the only class that's easy to pick up either, but those classes have more defined weaknesses against particular classes. He's still a good class to learn how to play, as he gives a good view of how the game works as a whole, even if you end up maining something else or become yet another Soldier main. And when learning how to play Soldier, let's take a look at his primary weapon, Big Flying Big Boom Projectile. This thing fires rockets that travel in a straight line and explode on contact. Thanks, Jonto, for explaining the sky is blue. Your teammates cannot be hurt by your rockets, but you can should you be caught in the explosion.
That is an interesting detail, the fact that he is uncounterable and not counters anybody. Yeah, he uses a fucking rocket. That is impressive, actually. Like, what the fuck?
While direct hits are obviously ideal for dealing the most damage, you can shoot at surfaces near enemy players to hurt them with splash. This isn't just useful for if your aim isn't good yet either. The explosion allows you to damage groups of players. You can use it to hit someone around a corner you can't even see. You can use it to launch the enemy, but relying on splash damage isn't always an option. They may be on high ground with no nearby walls to shoot, and the soldier has no way of suddenly gaining vertical speed. Oh, wait a minute. As great as splash damage is, you can't always rely on it. The enemy may be on high ground or straight up airborne, as well as the fact direct hits deal the most damage. You will still want to learn to hit directs, and that involves predicting where an enemy will be as you account for the travel time of the rocket. Essentially, despite it,
the fucking projectile speed, anything that is a projectile and not a hit scan weapon will always require you to figure out mathematics, especially when the projectile is slow as shit. Technically, the rocket is slow as shit.
Simplicity, there are a lot of ways you can use this thing, but keep in mind it's not your only weapon. You also come equipped with a shotgun. It fires a spread of pellets. Basically, video game shotgun. The shotgun is useful as a quick finisher for a hurt player trying to dodge rockets, a backup for when your rocket launcher is reloading or out of ammo completely, a quick instant follow-up to a rocket launcher attack, a way to attack someone at point blank without dealing self-damage, or because of them. More on that later.
I know exactly
but it's still a good sidearm you have for when you need it. And then there's his melee weapon, which deals...
After watching so many videos before this one, I know exactly what he's gonna bring up when it comes to that fucking pyro.
65 damage with an 0.8 second attack interval, just like other stock melees. But back to the rocket launcher. There is another key part of this thing that I've barely touched upon, and you probably know what it is. The technique that turns Soldier from a grounded, slow-moving grunt into an explosive, soaring eagle of the skies.
That is crazy.
This is the technique that makes Soldier hard to master. It turns what is the class with the second slowest running speed into one of the most mobile classes in the game. And you've probably seen it yourself.
Crazy to think that there's a lot of games that I've played that have done the explosive jump, which is a very interesting process in itself. Don't do it in real life though, you'll die.
Whether in-game or through videos, with all the skill required to pull one of these tricks off. It may be complex, but it's still worth learning the first steps to being able to rocket jump. Look down, jump, crouch, then shoot a rocket at the ground all in quick succession, and yeah, that was it, seriously. You might have not had a great deal of control over where you were going, but that was, by all accounts, a rocket jump. And as should go without saying, where the rocket explodes relative to your position will affect the direction you get launched in. Directly at your feet will send you straight up, but anywhere else can be used to give you more horizontal distance. It even works while shooting a wall. You can even rocket jump into a wall, then jump off the wall mid-flight. The reason you jump and crouch beforehand is simply because doing that sends you much further. And speaking of buttons you should be pressing, I'll tell you this now because it will help a ton in the long run, but...
What did I miss?
Once you were airborne...
We are looking at how to man Soldier as a video that was requested to me on the comments of another video that I... So we're gonna look at this one, and then we're gonna do a couple of other videos as well. But interestingly enough, we're learning how the Soldier's rocket airborne jumps work. And it is pretty interesting, considering that all you gotta do is shoot a rocket right next to yourself to be launched in a certain direction. An interesting gameplay mechanic that I've seen a lot in a bunch of other ones, especially Quake. Quake, I think, is the first place that you kind of saw it at. Very, very, very nifty.
Don't hold W. I know, it sounds weird, and everything in your muscle memory says you should be holding W to go forward, but that messes up your ability to turn mid-air, otherwise known as air strafing. It's fine when you're grounded, but you need to break that bit.
Wait, what? So, wherever you're looking, that's where you're being launched at. That is such a fucking wild premise to me. I thought the reason why you were able to even do it was because the way that they were looking is the way that they were moving. I didn't know that you didn't have to move. Like what?
Your muscle memory ASAP. Once you're in the air, see that W key? No, you don't. It doesn't exist. As for air strafing, hold either A or D and slowly move your mouse in that direction. If done correctly, you will begin turning in that direction. Don't move the mouse too fast, as there is a limit to how fast you can turn. Being able to turn mid-air is obviously very helpful to control where you land even after you launch yourself. Though, speaking of launching yourself, we should address the explosive health risk in the room. Yeah. Rocket jumping isn't free, as doing so costs you health. In combat, it can be quite risky or straight up kill you if you're not careful. But when
Yeah, that's an incredible thing to find out. I absolutely did not know that your best bet to actually move while in the air while doing that is to strafe left and right. That is weird in a very, very different type of way. Because what I'm used to is seeing that whenever you rocket jump in other games, you kind of just move forward, you know, it gives you the momentum, and going forward is what kind of continues the momentum and whatnot. I didn't know you were just supposed to not fucking
getting from spawn to the point quickly, it is less so, especially if you remember where the health packs spawn and pick them up along the way. And of course, if you barely manage to survive your own rockets, sometimes the good old ground will be the thing to finish you off. But seriously, knowing where health packs are and playing around them is really important, as just like ammo, you need to treat health as a resource, one you spend when going for a rocket jump. Playing around health packs can allow you to
That's fucking, I can't believe he actually made a fucking Risk of Rain reference. That's insane.
quickly refund health lost from rocket jumping. It always takes 10 seconds for a health pack to respawn after being picked up. Playing around medics is also very helpful, as their overheal can sponge the damage from your next few rocket jumps. In fact, protect those guys. They are an infinite source of health. And remember, rocket jumping isn't just to be flashy. It is genuinely useful in many situations. Getting across the map quicker, escaping a bad fight, getting to high.
It's a movement ability. Of course, it's the most useful thing that you can have. Every movement ability is your best friend. It's just like if you're trying to go into a situation, if you're trying to go into a situation or trying to leave a situation, your ability to move will always be the thing that'll get you in and out of a situation. If you have a movement ability, you are technically the most overpowered thing in the room, right? So if everybody has normal attack abilities, you're the only one with a movement ability, you are probably the bigger threat in the board, honestly.
Ground, jumping over a group to bomb them from above, playing ragdoll theater, etc. In combat is where it becomes difficult to judge whether it is or is not worth going for a rocket jump. It could be worth it to reposition or just nope out of a fight you don't think you'll win, but that loss in health might make you easier to kill. There's really no way to know for sure every time. You'll just get better at judging these situations as you get better in the game. Getting good at rocket jumping is a skill you just need to practice, and what I said here is only the beginner level stuff. There are many more in-depth guides to rocket jumping and even custom maps known as jump maps, specifically designed to learn it. There are also other unlockable weapons that you may acquire through random drops that can affect not only rocket jumps, but other ways you play.
Oh, we're getting into weapons. Wait a minute.
The direct hit is an alternate rocket launcher that sacrifices most of its blast radius in favor of more direct damage and projectile speed. It's all in the name. The idea of this thing is to hit direct hits and rely less on splash damage. The bonus damage is enough to one-shot scouts, engineers, snipers, and spies, great in the hands of a skilled player, or at point blank where it becomes the best melee weapon in the game, but even then,
It's always the direct hits that are the ones that are always like high gameplay, like high level gameplay whenever it comes to this situation. That's why you always see snipers in top rankings, because one-shotting somebody in the head is always a fucking, like, will always defeat anything. If you can fucking hit a headshot while somebody's fucking dashing away, you are king.
and it's good to consider that you'll still lose out on a lot of crowd control, and the reduced blast radius can mess with rocket jumps. The rocket jumper is a rocket launcher that sacrifices all of its damage. It literally does no damage. But that includes you as well, and yeah, the name makes it pretty obvious what this one is for. It's great for messing around and practicing rocket jumps, or to use with particular unconventional strategies. But do remember that you are—
Wait, is the rocket jumper the one that Trollger uses? I mean, you know, I'm asking questions. I'm sure they'll fucking. I really hope they actually do explain. I really hope they do.
Sacrificing the power of the rocket launcher when using this. And seriously, do remember that this does zero—
That's a funny detail, actually. In America, well, it's probably gonna be in a lot of other places. If you're gonna have a gun, a toy gun specifically, having the tip be an orange tip is a significant signifier of it not basically of it being a toy, or like basically just like something that is harmless. So seeing a rocket launcher with an orange tip is a really, really funny thing to say. As a detail for the one that does zero damage.
damage. Don't be one of those people who equipped it without reading its stats, like bringing a fish to a gunfight. Wait, what in God's name are you doing? Another option is to equip the gunboats. These take the slot of your shotgun instead and make you take 60% less self-damage. This is multiplied with the 40% resistance you get already, meaning 60% less of what remains of the self-damage. It doesn't just add to 100%. This is obviously great to be able to rocket jump more, but keep your rockets as a weapon. But this does sacrifice the shotgun in the process.
That is a really funny detail, actually, too. Hold on, give me a second. I'll tell you about it right now. Just go. No, go. Go. Hopefully that was 10 seconds. Okay, so fun fact. I used to think of this when I was a kid. So whenever you get into a game and you're playing on percentages, whether it's damage percentages or even if it's discounts in IRL, a percentage minus a percentage will never be the total percentage. So let's say you get an item that tells you that it's 50% off. You're shopping, right? And you get an item that's 50% off. And then you decide, oh, I have a 50% off coupon. That's going to be 100%. Actually, no. What's going to happen is that it's going to 50% off the already 50% off. So you're technically only getting 25% off with that 50% coupon that you are using. And that is what's going on here. The already lowered amount is being lowered by the result of the lowered amount of the damage you already take is being lowered by 60% chance is what it is. That's what I'm realizing, and I didn't realize that until like I got way older.
You literally don't have a secondary weapon, and that can be a bit of a problem in certain situations. Then we have the man treads. They share the same downside as the gunboats because the soldier can't wear shoes and use a shotgun at the same time. Is he stupid? But instead gives increased air control and the ability to Goomba stomp people. Increased air control means the limit to how fast you can turn mid-air is now drastically increased, allowing for much tighter turns and adjustments. There's also the base jumper, which is a parachute you can pull out mid-air, but be careful because it can make you an easy target with slow movement. Back on the topic of rocket launchers, there's a couple more to go over. The black box gives you health back when landing an attack at the cost of clip size, designed specifically for those players that can't seem to play without a medic girlfriend 24/7. The biggest bazooka lets you stuff it with rockets to vomit them all back out.
The idea of a woman playing TF2 is kind of a novel concept. Now, I'm not being sexist, but it just feels like it's like the community definitely does seem like it's going to be more leaning towards the male demographic of things. I'm just saying, bro. Like, I'm not being sexist. It just felt that way. It feels like it's a man's game. But if there's women who play this, I mean, all to you, congratulations, you're doing great. But it just like when I played, it was always dudes. It was I never like met a girl who played Team Fortress at all. Overwatch was a big one that I saw. Like I definitely see it a lot in Overwatch. I see it in League of Legends. I see it a lot in like other games. Fuck it, for fuck's sake, Path of Exile too. Like but TF2 for some reason I just never saw that happening. Maybe it's because it's just it's never just cute characters. Maybe this is me being sexist here, by the way. So don't worry, I'm not like straight up just fucking being discriminatory. It's just experiences that I've had when I've played the game. Very, very, very limited time that I've seen like women play the game.
Out again in random directions, or just overload it and send yourself flying. The Cow Mangler has unlimited ammo and can even be charged to fire a shot that burns players and disables engineer buildings for a few seconds. But it has an 80% damage penalty against buildings as well as being unable to crit properly. The airstrike has a damage and blast radius penalty, but gives you vastly increased fire speed while rocket jumping, while also increasing your clip size for every kill. The Liberty Launcher is just...
So basically, they gave you a pocket fucking airstrike. That's fucking hilarious. That sounds fucking great. Wait, hold on. Let me go back to it real quick. Okay, minus is attack speed and smaller blast radius while blast jumping. Clip size increase on kill? That's crazy.
While rocket jumping, while also increasing your clip size for every kill. The Liberty Launcher is just kind of there. I don't really know what it's for. And lucky last, the original. It's functionally... Strike has a damage and blast radius penalty, but gives you vastly increased fire speed while rocket jumping, while also increasing your clip size for every kill. The Liberty Launcher is...
So a higher clip size The projectile speed is a lot faster. The self damage is less. It's just but the damage penalty is high. Ooh, that doesn't sound like fun.
Just kind of there. I don't really know what it's for. And lucky last, the original. It's functionally identical to the stock rocket launcher, except it fires from the center of your screen instead of the right. So it's up to what you prefer, as both styles have their advantages. But at the end of the day, all these options for rocket launch.
The original just makes me wonder if maybe they got inspiration from Doom. I'm gonna be 100% with you.
Just lean into specific playstyles or strategies. But if you just want a good all-round option, the stock rocket launcher you start out with is going to be your go-to. Yep, the one you start with is overall the most reliable primary. But back on the topic of secondaries, there are a couple shotgun variants as well. The panic attack is good for close-up burst damage, the reserve shooter is good at shooting people you launch into the air, and the bison is...
The panic attack literally just shoots in a square. That's a very funny detail. I didn't realize it was a shotgun that did that. Kind of like in Borderlands, where you have like the TK surprise, which is a shotgun, the TK wave, I think, the one that you get in the first one, where it's just a shotgun that shoots waves, and it's supposed to be a shotgun.
It's one of the weakest weapons in the game. But we're still not done with the secondary slot, as there are also 3 banners. Each has a rage meter that is filled by dealing damage. Once full, it can be activated, giving a temporary buff to you and any teammates nearby, depending on which one you have equipped. The buff banner grants mini crit damage, the battalion's backup gives crit immunity and damage reduction, and the conch gives a speed boost and makes everyone affected heal when dealing damage.
Oh.
They also each give a passive effect to the soldier when equipped. The conch gives health regeneration, the backup gives 20 extra health, and the buff banner doesn't have a passive boost and is completely non-selfish. Passive effects or not, these are great supportive options for your team and obviously work best when used in a group. As for melees, well...
I could definitely see the usefulness of each and every one of them. I'm seeing a defensive one, an offensive one, and a very much glass cannon hyper offensive one. It is definitely... Well, not glass cannon, just a lot more damage and definitely trying to protect yourself kind of situation, though. All of them, I'd say, are very useful within each.
The stock shovel is just kind of boring, as there is very little reason to actually use it. But the unlockable melees provide their own utility with varying degrees of usefulness. I would say there are 3 kings of soldier melees. The escape plan increases movement speed at lower health, but marks you for death when you pull it out, making you take more damage.
That's
the disciplinary
sad.
action can be used.
Why would you want to use a weapon that lowers your health when you're already dying? That's fucking insane. That sounds bad.
To hit teammates, which gives both of you a speed boost, making it really good for getting not only yourself, but other players to the front lines fast.
That's actually really fucking funny. I didn't think that there was that's a support melee weapon. That's a support melee. So you have to beat your team and they run faster. That's funny.
And the Market Gardener gives crits while rocket jumping. It's not easy to land those crits, but the downside isn't a huge deal for a weapon you'll probably only pull out while rocket jumping. Those are the 3 best melee options for the soldier, depending on what you want to use. As for the other 3, well...
Is it Goomba stomping and fucking... Oh my god, wait, let me guess. So if you're doing Trollger, you're getting the rocket launcher that gives you the most hops and the most control of your hops. You're Goomba stomping, and you're using the fucking thing, you're using the fucking item, the melee weapon that absolutely just fucking annihilates on crit.
One of them is just the escape plan, but it gives damage instead of speed, which will usually just get you killed faster. The Hasatoichi isn't super bad, but you really have to commit to a kill when pulling it out. And the Pain Train makes you take more damage just so you can capture objectives faster, something Scout already does, and he does better because he's actually fast. Anyway, that was all of Soldier's unlockable weapons. Some are better than others, some have their use cases, but it's good to know what you're bringing into battle. Your primary is the most impactful part of your loadout, with whatever secondary or melee you equip.
So basically, what you're looking at is your rocket launcher is definitely going to be a part of your main gameplay, especially because a lot of the time you'll be rocket jumping. And then after that, the other 2 weapons that you get or items are definitely going to kind of coincide with what kind of gameplay you're going for. So that's interesting.
Complementing it. You can use different loadouts depending on what strategies or playstyles you plan to use. You can have a generalist all-purpose loadout, a roamer playstyle that likes to rocket jump a lot, a more supportive loadout that sticks with their team, a sentry busting loadout, a meme strat loadout, or just the literal worst possible loadout on soldiers. But with soldiers' full arsenal in mind, let's talk about actually fighting each class. Scouts run fast, but also die fast. Blast damage can be useful to catch them, but remember, they can dodge or bait out shots by changing direction fast. Splash damage is more effective in smaller spaces, and as mentioned earlier, the direct hit is capable of killing a scout in one hit.
That's sad.
When facing another American Patriot, remember they have splash damage just like you. Use corners and cover to minimize chances for them to hit you, or take the high ground and stay away from walls to deny splash damage in time.
Always remember that whenever you do a mirror match, I should have probably said something on Scout. The Scout one kind of does make sense, and it would probably be very annoying to go against. So it's, again, like, a Scout, fun. Tracer should be fucking, like, everybody, like, the idea of Tracer should just be deleted out of everybody's memory. Fuck Tracer. But Scout sounds fair. But at the same time, I definitely see how annoying it would be to not be able to hit your shots on that guy. So 100% I can see that.
Ellie, should they take the high ground?
Oh yeah, right. Soldier. Yeah, no, skill issue based. If you lose on a soldier v soldier or just a mirror v mirror, no, you absolutely fuck it. You better hope to God that you're the one who's more skillful than the other person.
On themselves, you can rocket jump above them. Note that if an enemy soldier rocket jumps at you, you can try to hit them with an air shot by predicting their path. Pyro is a bit of a special case. They're weak at long range, but they also have something I neglected to mention up to this point. The Air Blast. This move is capable of deflecting your rockets and is why you need to be careful when shooting rockets at a Pyro. Granted, it still requires good timing.
Bro, they got a whole ass fucking counter, dude. Full counter up to your ass.
On the Pyro's part, at close range, the rocket is too fast to react to, and the Pyro is instead forced to predict when you pull the trigger. There are many methods to counteract Air Blast. Shooting around a corner can make it difficult to Air Blast it back at you, fire the rocket a second later to mess up the Pyro's timing, or just straight up pull out the shotgun because they can't deflect it. This doesn't make Pyro a counter to Soldier, you just need to think a bit before you shoot at them, since deflected rockets are able to also hurt your teammates. Though, sometimes...
That fucking sucks so bad, bro. Goddamn. Well, I mean, technically it would basically be a counter because it would kind of devolve. It would go against your main weapon, your primary, but then again, you do have a shotgun, so I could see it. It's kind of left and right here. I'm kind of like thinking, like, is it a counter? Is it not a counter? I think it is. I kind of think it isn't. It's kind of in between.
The Pyro just sucks at air blasting and mistimes all of them. They're a mixed bag. Mann, like you, also uses a lot of projectiles. However, unlike you, lacks a hit scan secondary weapon, as that's a projectile too. Unlike your rockets, neither of their explosives automatically detonate upon contact with a wall, and are influenced by gravity, affecting their accuracy. Pay attention to their shots, they're most dangerous at medium range. Your shotgun can destroy their sticky bombs, but the rocket launcher only knocks them around. Keep your distance from them when possible.
What? Wait, how does it just blow them back and not destroy them? That makes no fucking sense. In a gameplay situation, that makes no fucking sense. How?
Heavy deals high
You're killing your friends with that shit.
sustained damage and is deadly to fight when caught out in the open. Have you ever rocket jumped into a revved up heavy? For some reason, you seem to instantly die upon trying to do so. However, most miniguns make a sound when revved up, allowing you to know when to time attacks. But even when they are revved up, you can use what's known as corner peeking, taking advantage of your rocket's travel time to peek and hit them around a corner while limiting your exposure to their gun. Do note that rockets fire from the right side of your screen, usually, so trying to do this to the left will just result in a self-made firework display for the heavy player.
That's fucking funny. I'm not gonna lie, I probably would do that. I'm not even gonna lie.
The engineer himself isn't built that much for combat, but don't underestimate the power of the shotgun. You're more likely to struggle with the sentry gun he can conjure. The sentry takes a brief second to lock on, so corner peeking is also effective against the sentry, or attacking it outside of its range. The direct hit also deals bonus damage to buildings. Similar to heavy, don't try to rocket jump into a sentry. Their auto aim will just turn you into Swiss cheese.
That fucking sucks.
Just kill him. He doesn't have a medical license, so it's not a war crime.
There's There's nothing you can do. You just fucking die. This is why you gotta protect the medic. That fucking sucks.
That helmet of yours may as well be made of styrofoam because it only takes a somewhat charged headshot to one-shot you. Either be careful of peeking no and sniper sightlines or move unpredictably. Rocket jumps can make you hard to hit due to sheer speed, but your movement can still be predicted by a skilled sniper should you move in a straight line. Snipers are TF2's long-range class. If you're able to get close to them, they become very easy to kill. Turn around.
Yeah, just fucking look at your back. Look at your back. Just look at your back.
Really. This is coming from someone who main spy. Spy preys on your complacency of not watching your back.
Yeah, no, the idea that you always have to look at your back as a character is a very great gameplay thing. Make sure you cover every fucking vantage point.
Soldier is the jack of all trades when it comes to combat. Easy to pick up, hard to master, and a blast to play throughout, pun very much intended. Whether you become yet another soldier main or pick up a different class in the long run, he's great for beginners not just because he's easy to pick up, but you also get a good view of how the game works with all the other classes. So get in there, soldier. You may be brain damaged, but there are people to shoot for some reason. So go get 'em.
That's crazy. Boy, no way. These outros are pretty good though. I like these. Oh my god, SBO! It's been a while. Oh my god, bro, I haven't seen you in so long. How have you been? How are you doing, dude? Dude, how have you been? How was your stream? We're doing our reaction content right now. Hi, thermal paste consumer. It's been a while for you too. Really must be hello. It has been a while. I hope your streams have been going well.
Mann 3. This model has an upgrade.
This model has an upgrade, bro. I stuck a sock in there, dude. It's my cup. I need to make sure that I protect myself just in case.
Yes, they've been big. I hope the same for yours.
Yeah, we've been doing great. We've been doing a little bit of slop content for the time being because I have a YouTube now. And I put in like my gameplay and like some reactionary content to kind of grow up and whatnot.
What did your cup just fill up?
Hell yeah, dude. It fucking hella did. Where the fuck is my water? Where the fuck did I put my water? I actually need 1 more gallon of water.
Who evoke some React Slap IFW?
Yeah, we doing React Slap. We're upgrading in life right now. I'm up to like 500 on fucking on YouTube too, so that's fucking great. Took me about it took me like 2-3 months to get to 500, which is crazy. I'm growing big, but let me go ahead and do the outro real quick. All right, that was How to Man, the guide to soldier. Basically, I like this one. I do like this one a lot. There's a lot of details that come into using the characters, and I can't wait to watch all the other ones. I also do got to make sure that when I do watch them, I'm not like going on beyond a certain amount. I don't want to cannibalize content that is beyond a certain time limit because I want them to have their money first before I'm able to slurp up any amount that I can get, you know? That's how reactions should be, but some people kind of just go straight up to whenever it's already posted. That's kind of sad. But yeah, no, that was great. This was John Toe Hill's TF2's How to Man a Soldier. This is the first one, and we're probably gonna watch the rest of them next time. Again, if you want to suggest to me any kind of content that you want me to react to, you can go on ahead and put that in the comments below. I really do appreciate it. Also, if you want
be fire.
How to pyro is good. That's actually kind of funny. But yeah, thank you very much for coming by. I really do appreciate it. If you want to watch my content live, twitch.tv/Yuffie. I also have other Yuffie content. I have a comic out that you can watch at Patreon, Pixiv, Webtoons, and Tapas. I also have a Patreon if you want to support me there. Again, they go to all my all the money that I get from there goes to all my projects. If you guys want to take a look at those, that's also includes the comic as well as my streams. But thank you very much for coming by. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Mwah. Love you all. Bye, everybody. That was for this. The stream continues.